Please know that whoever you are, wherever you are from, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Good morning and welcome to San Gabriel Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or joining us online, whether you're here for your first time or the 500th time, we are glad you are here and welcome to you. My name is Keith Hutchinson. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm honored to serve as your lay leader this morning. I've been a member. Dana and I joined the congregation here in San Gabriel in 2014. San Gabriel is part of a larger movement of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship movement, and we are working for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Here in this community, we begin that work by sustaining one another in love. It's been a little while since we've had a guest in our pulpit, and so let me begin with an introduction of Simone Monique Barnes, our worship leader today. Simone is a master weaver of stories and people. She has a heart for embodied spiritual practices that build our resilience and nurture our sense of community and belonging. She loves the practices of laughter yoga, music, and meditation, which help provide the fuel she needs to stay in good trouble, doing the work to nurture our beloved community. Today, Simone will challenge us to cultivate a sustainable joy, even in hard times. Simone, welcome to San Gabriel. We are glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Keith. So yes, good morning. I am Simone Monique Barnes, and my pronouns are she and her. I am an African-American and Caribbean-American woman with natural hair, and I'm wearing a dress that I'm excited to wear because it's not that often I get to wear long sleeves. And often, we embrace the cold weather sometimes. I'm honored to serve here today as your worship leader. And I also just want to say thank you to Eric, who lovingly invited me to come speak with you all today. I hope he's at home enjoying a beautiful family and birthday day with his son. I'd also like to thank Keith, who has been so kind and gracious and welcoming here in the worship team. And today is going to be a day that we are going to be so flexible, right? Flexible. And last but not least, I was thinking on my drive up here, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I was preaching at Wildflower UU, and as I was coming in, as you know, Wildflower is a congregation that shares space with Faith Presbyterian, so there's always a busy transition in between the services, and there was some guy named Lou. It was like, hey, you should I wonder one day you should come up and guest preach at up in Georgetown and whatever. And so, and then later on I found out, they're like, oh, let's tell you about that guy named Lou, some guy named Lou. So thank you, Lou, for planting the seeds, and thank you for everyone who watered those seeds. And look at that, you never know. So there you go, full circle moment. So together we're going to enter a time of word and silence, of song and spirit, as we shape this time of worship. I'm going to go light the chalice. We light. Oh, there we go. I was thinking, oh, the tech gremlins are gone. No. We light this flame to remind us. Love is the center. As we grow and connect. Mature and deepen. Love is our center. When the light of truth burns all else away. Love endures. Our calling in song is Guide My Feet, number 348 in the Great Hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able, and let us lift our voices together. For we are here, we are awake, and we are one community. Today we will be singing verses 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my goodness, I love this enthusiasm. Oh, we're gonna have fun today. All right. Was that happy? Is that what I heard? Oh, I love when we have junior ministers in
In the audience. The Wonder Box reminds us that wisdom often comes in small packages, and that curiosity is a sacred gift at every age. Candace White, the Director of Religious Exploration, will now share this time of learning and wonder with us.
Ooh, that's a fancy Wonder Box.
Good morning. As you know, our Wonder Box gives us a clue into how we're exploring our monthly theme every Sunday. This month we have a brand new theme. It's February 1st, and our theme this month is embodying resilience. So let's check out the Wonder Box and see what we're going to do today. Let's see. Do you know what this is? Seeds! More seeds. I wonder what seeds have to do with resilience. Layla?
It makes flowers so that it can bloom.
It does. And what do the seeds have to go through in order to become flowers?
Well, it does do something blue, which is water, and something shiny, which is the sun.
That's right. They need water and sun, and someone says they get buried, right? I heard that too. I want to share another seed with you, a familiar one. It's an acorn. When we stop and really look and listen, nature tells us little stories. And I want to tell you the story of the acorn. An acorn comes from an oak tree. Inside each acorn is a full tree, but it's fast asleep. The acorn waits on the ground through wind and rain, through cold days like today, and snowy, icy days. Acorns are resilient. They keep waiting and waiting until the world is ready. And then one day, the acorn starts to grow. It sends a little root down into the soil. It pushes a tiny sprout up toward the sun. It keeps trying, even when the ground is hard and the weather is cold. And finally, after all that trying, it starts sprouting into an oak tree. In other words, it's resilient. Resilient is a really big word that just means we keep trying even when things are hard. And today, That's what we are going to explore. And so now, may your song be our blessing as we go to the little house and do some activities and read a book involving resilience.
Our hearts hold both joy and sorrow. Spoken here, they become medicine. They become healing medicine. If you wish to share during our times of joy and sorrow, raise your hand, begin with your name, and hold the microphone so that your voice flows into it. A brief word spoken with care can be enough medicine for us all. Thank you for sharing. I'm going to hold one remaining pebble for all those joys and concerns that are both spoken and unspoken, for all those that we hold in our hearts. For all that remains unspoken, this community holds you in love. At this time, we pause to honor the great world house of which we are all a part of, lifting up the needs, the hopes, and the voices beyond these doors. Today and this month, we're thinking about embodied resilience. And so if our tech gremlins will allow us, we're going to watch a short video, a little news video about a group of people in Minnesota who are embodying beautiful resilience. We've got a backup plan. All right, so if we start it back from the beginning, I'm going to play it from my phone, the audio from my phone. So I think this is planting the seed of our lesson of that resilience is not a solo thing, right? It's teamwork. All right, are you ready?
Learning the songs for the first time. The singing first started 4 days after the killing of Renee Good. 6 days later, some 600 people showed up. There's a long history in America of protest songs, but here in Minneapolis, a new chapter is being written by a group called Singing Resistance. Listen.
I am not afraid. I am not afraid. I will live for liberation, 'cause I know why I was made. We've been singing that one in English and in Spanish.
No tengo miedo.
It's by a group called the Peace Poets.
This is one of the organizers of Singing Resistance. She didn't want to be identified out of concern for her safety.
Song is a vehicle for us to grieve. It's a vehicle for us to feel rage. It's a vehicle for us to strengthen ourselves. Like that song, I Am Not Afraid, that I sang. We're not singing it because we're actually not afraid. Like, we are afraid. It is terrifying what is happening. And it's a way to gather our courage.
Last Saturday, hours after Alex Preddy was shot to death by Border Patrol agents, some 1,400 people came to the Hennepin Avenue United Methodist Church to sing.
So I want us to hold space for all of those organizers, all of those musicians, those meditators, those teachers, those who are those artists who are holding space for all of us, who are using creativity to help people find courage and solidarity, to find their voices. What we were listening to was a CNN interview with Anderson Cooper, interviewing some of the organizers in Minnesota who are walking through the streets singing for all the neighbors who are afraid to leave their homes. And they started with the organizers, and it grew to, they had 300 people walking in the streets, which grew to 600. And then after some of the deaths, there were 1,400 people gathering and singing. I know next week when Eric returns, you'll probably talk a little bit more about the movement that went here in Texas, where people went and sang, and then we're being supportive of people who were being held in Dilley, Texas. And I think of, if you read Texas Monthly, you'll hear about how they were singing This Little Light of Mine and organizing and singing. And so we're going to think a little bit about that today, about how we can embody resilience in different creative ways. And this is a reminder for those who are singing to hold the love of Renee Good, Alex Preddy, Keith Porter, Paradila, Eber Sanchez Dominguez, Victor Manuel Diaz, Luis Beltran Yanez Cruz, Luis Gustavo Nunez Caceres, and Geraldo Lunas Campos, the 9 people who've been killed since December 31st from this year. And so let's just, as we think about those songs, we are not afraid. And as she said, it's not that we're not afraid, but we're holding on to that resilience as a vehicle to strengthen ourselves, knowing that it's a way to gather our courage. Let's take a moment to breathe. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. I often like to sing at the beginning of my sermons, and if you haven't guessed by now, this is going to be an interactive experience, right? Singing for me is a method of prayer, it is a method of grounding myself, and it is a method of community. I am Simone Monique Barnes, and one of my joys are things like music and laughter yoga. So we're going to have some fun today. We're going to get to know and do some things in a slightly different way and embody what resilience feels like in our bodies. Resilience is defined as the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness, the ability of a substance or an object to spring back into shape with elasticity. So we're going to do some exercises together, and we're going to sing together today. And so I just sang that song, This Joy That I Have. And so that's going to be our little theme for the morning. And so I know that y'all watched me sing it, and now I want y'all to join in with me and sing it, all right? So the words are, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. All right, let's try that. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. So why on earth are we talking about joy as we're also talking about all the tragedies and hardships? For me, I often, when I'm questioning, how do I survive? How do I keep going? How do I do things in the world? I look to some of my spiritual ancestors and those who have gone before and say, how did they get through? I look to people like Thich Nhat Hanh, the amazing Buddhist leader who was exiled from Vietnam. And so I imagine with that hardship to leave your country after a time of war and be exiled for years. And yet he had joy, he had laughter, a sense of humor, and started peace movements all around the world. There are monasteries in his tradition here in the US. And around the world, there are people who are breathing and being and learning to be in community. And he's funny. I look at people like the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, who says that it is often necessary to laugh in order to survive. Interesting. And so when I think about joy and laughter, I think that's a nice thing to do in theory, but sometimes in these hard moments, it's like, but I don't know how to find joy anymore. I don't know how to access that. And so I look to a practice that I've been doing for more than a decade called laughter yoga. So laughter yoga was started more than 30 years ago in Mumbai, India by a medical doctor who wanted to test the theory of laughter being the best medicine. Because he noticed that his patients were, feeling a little lethargic or, not being community, especially his patients who had retired and they had lost their sense of community in daily life. And he said, well, let's try this idea of laughing for no reason. I think a lot of us know what that feeling feels like now that we've gone through COVID and everything that's going on, right? Where you're just like, I remember there was a time that I was happy, but I can't even, it's so outside of the realm of my thinking. How can I do that? And so that's what I love about this practice, is because it's a way to embody what joy feels like in our body and to remember it. So I'm going to tell you that in laughter yoga, you don't have to be in a good mood. You don't have to have a sense of humor, and we're not going to rely on words. We're going to do this as a body-mind practice. All right. Let's start by just taking a deep breath in and breathing out. Let's do that again. Take another deep breath in and breathe out. Now this next time we're going to hold it. So take a deep breath in and hold it, 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 and laugh it out. Let's do that 2 more times. Take a deep breath in
And hold it, 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 and laugh it out. And one more time. Take a deep breath in. And hold it, 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 and laugh it out. Now in laughter yoga, we cheer for ourselves, and we do that in a special way. We say, very good, yay. Can we try that? Very good, yay. Awesome. See, you didn't think you were going to be laughing this morning, right? All right, let's continue doing some laughter. I like this particular exercise because in laughter yoga, just like as they talked about in the video, is that we're not pretending that the world and everything is great, right? We can hold both emotions at the same time. And so we're going to do crying laughter. And so that looks like we're going to wipe our faces down with tears, and then we're going to wipe them up with joy. So we're going to be like, all right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. One more time. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. Awesome. All right, now this next one is a little interactive, okay? We're going to do some greeting laughter, and I like to do namaste style. So we're going to take our hands and fold them kind of in greeting or prayer position, whatever you call this, and we're going to greet each other. You're going to look somebody in the eye, and you're going to bow and laugh. You can get up out of your seats if you want to, but you don't have to. All right, and we're going to try that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very good, yay. Very good, yay. All right, so for our last exercise for this morning, and there are hundreds of laughter yoga exercises, right? But for our last one this morning, we're gonna do what we call laughter meditation. So I don't know about you, but I know for me, a lot of times when I go to meditate, right, you're like, you know, Dr. Katara used to laugh at us. He's like, everybody's so angry to like meditate, right? You're just like, oh, I got it, but I forgot to do this, and I forgot to do this, and the seat, my pillow isn't right, and I forgot to do all this stuff. With laughter yoga, we do it with joy. We do our mindfulness with joy. And so we are going to laugh for absolutely no reason. We are not laughing at anyone. We are just laughing for the sake of laughing. We're going to do this kind of a crescendo or gradient style. We're going to start quiet and let it naturally build as loud as it wants to go. And you can do this anytime, anywhere. You can do this for 15 seconds, 30 seconds. If you need some coffee in the afternoon, you can laugh. If you had a really hard conversation, you can laugh after it. Do not go over 5 minutes if you're doing this on your own. It is still an exercise, right? All right, so I'm going to set our timer so we don't go too long, but we're going to try to laugh for at least a minute, all right? It helps. Now, the thing with laughter yoga is that your body doesn't know the difference between fake laughter and real laughter. So even though you know you're faking, right, your body's going to get some of the same benefits. And so we're going to just do this and see how it goes, all right? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Very good, very good. Yay! Very good, very good. Yay! Oh, check it. How are you feeling right now? How's your heart? How's your mind? How are you feeling? Spiritual joy isn't about denying that hard times exist. Instead, it's a pilot light. It's a little chalice, right? A little flame inside of you or inside each of us. Spiritual joy is remembering that a tiny spark of light illuminates, right? Just like a drop of water can cause a ripple in a lake. We took, 5 minutes of joy this morning, and we're feeling just so different. For me, being committed to joy practices has been life-changing. I learned about laughter yoga here in Austin many years ago. And I remember there was one particular day. I had just moved to Austin maybe a couple of months before, and I'm from the Northeast, and I had one of those weekends where when you move someplace and like all of a sudden the shininess of moving has worn off, and you realize like I am away from people that I know. I don't have anybody whose house I can just show up on their couch and just be. And I was having a moment, but I continued going to this class. And I remember for the first time ever, 2 people in the class, including the teacher, said, "Hey, do you want to grab coffee afterwards?" And I thought, oh, that's nice, different. And when I sat down at the coffee shop, they looked at me and they said, "Hey, your laughter was different today." What? We didn't talk in the class. They knew nothing about me, but they knew something was different about my laughter. And I realized in that moment, that body-mind practice of really what it means to connect with other people, even beyond words. Since then, I've been teaching laughter yoga. It's part of my regular practice. I will tell you, it is a gateway yoga. Suddenly, you're going to find yourself doing other weird, goofy things that you were like, I was never going to try that, right? But you're like, all right, I can laugh through it, right? I am a cancer survivor. I laughed throughout treatment. I had a great time. The laughter, right? And it doesn't deny that hard things don't happen. But suddenly, instead of being in a bad mood, I was having bad moments, right? My resiliency had bounced back. I love that we are mind, body, and spirit, and that it's important that we nurture all 3 of those. I think about when we talk about other ways that we see embodied resilience showing up, we don't talk about music a lot and in all the different ways, right? We talk about protest songs, but I was listening to Martha and the Vandellas dancing in the streets. You know the song that goes, calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? 'Cause summer is here and the time is right for dancing in the street. Guess what, y'all? That was a protest song. I know. They originally envisioned it to be a really melancholy feel to it, but Marvin Gaye said, no, I think it should be upbeat and have joy. That song came out in 1964, Freedom Summer, when the harshest moments were happening. They were out in the streets, like we saw in Minnesota, right? Or we listened to in Minnesota, right? Out in the streets. They're dancing in Chicago, Emmett Till, down in New Orleans, all these different places, right? And they're like, hey, we need both. We need both the resiliency and the joy and the movement. I think if they were to rewrite that song today, we would say, like, they're dancing in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, right? In Chicago, along the Gulf Coast of Texas, over in Washington, D.C., right? Joy, cultivating joy. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it The world can't take it away. All right, we got another experiment. All right, we are going to hold a note for as long as we can. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. I love that. We know who to lean on when we need some breath control here. All right, so now we're going to try that again. Only when you need to take a breath, and then join back in. All right, and let's see how long we can collectively sustain a note together. All right, you ready? Go. Very good, very good. Yay. Notice how that felt differently when we allowed ourselves to take a break and tap back in, right? We weren't relying on one person to hold the note and hold the movement, right? We could collectively do that. And also that didn't leave the responsibility to the 1 or 2 people that could hold it the longest, right? The thing about resilience is that it is not a solo thing. A lot of times we tell ourselves that we're not allowed to take a break. We have to keep fighting. And we don't take a moment to even notice who else needs a moment to take a breath. Who else needs some joy? Holding a breath and doing things on our own is not sustainable. We become angry and disillusioned with the cause, right? We become sick and exhausted. We become burnt out, and the work is no longer fun. Often if you look to the left or your right and you ask somebody, how are you? And they're like, I'm tired. My soul or my spirit is low. And it's in those moments that we need to figure out how do we help cultivate joy in each other and ourselves. If you're walking around depleted, then your spirit doesn't feel uplifted. It's hard to be in community with others, and it's hard to serve others with joy. I notice for me when I'm not feeling resilient, right? Maybe I might start to serve with a bit of resentfulness or unkindness and hardship. But when I find moments for joy and breath, it makes a difference. From Soul Matters this month, I love these quotes. One of the things that our bodies need to heal from trauma is to reclaim an identity not defined by the trauma event or conditions we survive. I also love that one of the tools that's mentioned in Soul Matters is that Lisa Oliveira created a personal How to Keep Going manifesto. She made a list of things that enabled her to keep going in the past so that she can more easily grab a hold of them in her present, right? So for me, again, mine is music and dance and laughter yoga. What's on your joy list? What are those things that bring you joy? And have you shared that with others? Spiritual joy isn't about denying that hard time exists. Again, it's a pilot light. It's a little flame. What keeps that chalice going for you? Take a moment to think about what is it? Now that you remember just for a moment what joy might feel like in your body. What are some of those things that brought you joy? What does it feel like when you're at peace? This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Love is at the center of this faith. Love is acting with compassion. When we keep love at the center, we raise our vibration with each other. I love these wise words that were included in Soul Matters this month. Anyone can slay a dragon, he told me. But try waking up every morning and loving the world all over again. I think we all know what that feels like here in Texas, and we certainly can imagine what it's like to wake up in Minnesota or other places, or even down the street where things are hard. The world has been cruel, and we're called to love and wake up and love people all over again. Love those neighbors, you know. I love that years ago, some friends really challenged me where I was like, they were like, you gotta love your neighbors. And I was like, I don't remember any scripture that says anything about I have to love my boss though, right? I was like, where's that spiritual text? They were like, Simone, I think you need to go back and sit a little bit. I was like, it doesn't say I have to love the coworker. That's not a neighbor. It is hard, right? Anyone can slay a dragon. But to love that family member, that coworker, that friend, that neighbor, and to have joy, I think that's a hard thing, right? Because joy is contained in love. How do we watch the news? How do we go home? How do we have all those things and yet I'm still supposed to have joy? I remember those sayings, like I remember my grandmother used to say things like that, don't let nobody take away your joy. And I was like, what does that even mean? Today is a hard day. But I love this quote by Krista Tippett. Joy is not a luxury. It is not a privilege. It is resilience-giving, life-giving birthright. And we can't call forth in the world something we don't believe in and embody. Joy is not a luxury. This joy, this peace, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. It is something that has been cultivated, nurtured, grown, and tapped into. From what is divine within, what is divine around us, from the vibrations that happen when we sing, the Om that we chant, the dance, the prayers, the laughter, the cooking, and the playing together. While resilience has a lot to do with what is inside of us, it is even more dependent on what is between us. It is even more dependent on what is between us. It's all one big reminder that while resilience has a lot to do with what is inside us, it is even more dependent on what is between us. We survive our wounds and our weaknesses by having the strength to tell others about it. We find the courage to make our way through the dark only when we sense we are not alone. Internal and individual grit only gets us so far. Empathy, assurance, and love from others gets us the rest of the way. I love this quote, that if you boil it all down, you get to this: there really is no such thing as a resilient person. There's only resilient relationships from which resilient people arise. So this month, I invite you to think about, how are you cultivating joy in your life? How are you recognizing those moments where you're like, my body, my mind, and my spirit are not feeling peaceful. What do I need to do to get it back in balance? And then how are you sharing that love? For me, some examples of that are when during the Texas legislative session and the advocacy days, where there were used protesting and speaking and giving testimony, and it was hard. And I could recognize in others that their resiliency was getting lower and lower, especially some of our trans siblings, right? And I was like, what is that thing that brings me joy? And I was like, chocolate donuts from Mr. Naturals. If you have not had them, I highly recommend. They're chocolate, they are vegan, they are gluten-free, they're and they are made with love. And so I showed up at the Capitol because I wasn't down there protesting, but I was like, I'm going to show up with some resiliency for those who are on the front line. And I showed up with a giant box of donuts, and I remember finding people whose eyes were so weary, right? When you recognize what joy and resiliency looks like in your body, you recognize when it is lacking from someone else's. And so I showed up and I was like, hey, I just brought y'all something. And they were like, ah! Right? Suddenly they had all this energy. Sharing the love is showing up at a friend's house with flowers and a card because their dog died. And I was like, I know you need to be seen in this moment. Helping people remember that they are loved. Bringing crayons and coloring sheets to hard meetings and just be like, we're just going to sit here and do some coloring today, right? Resiliency. So your challenge for this week is to write a list of your spiritual practices that cultivate joy, right? And then try to commit to at least one of them this month. Maybe it's going for a walk in nature. Maybe it's meditating daily, singing, laughing with others for absolutely no reason, right? And then get in the habit of noticing when you're not feeling peaceful. And then start to recognize when others around you are not feeling peaceful. We go back to that march, right, where they were singing in the streets. It was both to make the singers feel good, but also wanting the people who were inside to hear, wait, there's this little bit of joy outside. My pain feels noticed and seen. So I want you to spread love, right? Because love, at the end of the day, is at the heart of this faith. So with that, let's close out by singing all 3 verses. So this joy, this peace, and this love that I have. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, and this peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This peace that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, and this love that I have, this love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. This love that I have, the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Let's take one, just breathe all that love and joy and peace in. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Each week, we give an offering to sustain this spiritual home and to support the work of our fellowship. Today's offertory music is Let Us Sing by Paul Winchester, offered by Joan Esheim and Jackie Karish. The offering will now be greatly received. And now we return to this beloved house where our covenant lives in the announcements and invitations we share. So a few announcements this morning. San Gabriel t-shirts, if you're interested, one of our signature gold t-shirts. If you'd like one of those, please add your name on the clipboard, which is on the membership table. I guess we're going to be doing a new order. And do not have an order date yet, but stay tuned. If you want a t-shirt, sign up. We will have a joining ceremony next week at the service on February 8th. During the service, if you have not signed up yet and want to participate, please sign the clipboard at the membership table or talk to Pat Berthold, who is holding her hand up right now in the back. The Southwest UU Women's Annual Conference is coming up March 7th through 8th. It will be in Navasota, Texas, so there will be information in the messenger about that. I know it's a great annual conference. One of the keynote speakers is Natalie Briscoe, who is now the Director of Congregational Life, used to be our regional representative, and also a chaplain and conference musician, Reverend Kaya Hartwood from UU Church in Brazos Valley will be speaking. So it's been going on for 39 years, so look for that information in the messenger and encourage you to sign up. Let's see. Today after the service, myself and Dawn, who's right over here, are going to be doing voter registration for anyone who needs to register to vote in the upcoming primary, or we have municipal elections happening in May. You can get registered. The deadline to register is February 3rd, I believe. It's tomorrow, so today is a good last opportunity. Yes, so sign up with us. If you get the mail-in form, it's too late to mail it in. So talk to Dawn or I. We'll be in the back. And even if you need to change your address, if you've changed address within Williamson County, we can take care of that for you. Get you registered to vote. And San Gabriel is hiring a religious exploration guide to work with our elementary children. If you're interested or know somebody who would be a good fit, please see the messenger for details or contact Eric at pulpiteer@sangabrieluu.org. And that's the news from this beloved house. I always feel like Garrison Keillor when I say that. We'll close with words of covenant, promises we make to one another and to the world. Let us share them together in unison reading. Love is the spirit of this community. Truth is our sacred quest. Justice is our prayer. We dwell together in peace. We seek wisdom in freedom. We serve life in fellowship. We grow in harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with one another. Our returning song is Soon the Day Will Arrive, number 146 in the gray hymnal. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able, and let us sing our way forward into the world, renewed and strengthened together. We'll be singing 2 verses. Please recite after me the words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame to remind us. Love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love is our center. When only ashes remain, love endures.
It has been such a joy. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so distracted by the joy that's just up here. I love all the joy. It's infectious. But it has been such a joy to worship with you all today and fellowship with you all today. I'm sitting here just thinking about moments like when Dr. King would feel, when his heart felt low and his spirit felt low, he would call his friend Mahalia Jackson, the great gospel singer, and say, Haley, can you just sing something to me? Can you just sing? I think about stories of the late Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama would have laughter sessions, and they were just funny as anything, right? And if those freedom fighters, if those who cared about the world can find time for joy, then so can you and I. And so with that, I offer you this blessing. May your thoughts be wise. May your lips speak truth. May your heart be open to love. May your hands be ready for service. And may your life join the great work of beloved community. And may you have joy. May you have peace. And may you have love. Amen. Ashe. Om. And blessed be.